Oh, and welcome. Whose argument is it anyway? Um, Sorry there's no skit tonight. College starts next week. But let's go ahead and bring up our guests. We got Jeff, and Brian. There we go. And of course, as soon as I start this, my phone rings. Anyway,
not today, bill collector.
Not today, devil. So just real quick, I want to get the network jargon out of the way. So fucking Monday nights, we got Men Caring for Men. Tuesday nights, Glick's House of Music, and I have no idea who he's interviewing this coming Tuesday, but
I never do.
That's all on him. Wednesday is What the Fuck News, and maybe Jeff will be back next week. You gonna be back next week?
I will. Okay. Now the kids' birthdays are over, and everything's back to normal, so I'm back to normal schedule.
You missed a pretty good one this past Wednesday. It was about.
I know I have to rewatch it.
Yes, there was some poop talk in there. There was some cult talk. So, and then Thursday night is now Cash's Corner, where Glick and his son Cash talk wrestling. That's all I know about wrestling. No, actually, I do know a lot more about wrestling, but not really my forte as much anymore as I've gotten older. It's not. I just outgrown it. I have my own reasons why, but I think
it's because I'm an adult and I
still watch cartoons, so I can't really use that as an excuse. Man, I am tongue tied tonight, guys. The sickness has been going around my area, so I think I got something going on with me. But with that being said, Thursday nights, Cash's Corner, like I just said. Friday, boom, tonight. So I'm taking over the Friday night spot. Last week I had an opportunity to go longer. Had it not been, it was a Thursday school night. People had to work the next day. So
I get that.
I still got to work on a Saturday. It really kind of blows.
What time you got to be in tomorrow? We won't keep you up too late.
8:00. So I get up at like 7.
Oh, okay. No worries.
It's sales, right? You're fine.
Right? I get paid regardless. Show up or don't show up. Yeah. Still getting paid.
Well, shit. Fuck it. Don't show up.
That's what my wife says. Don't show up. See what happens.
Saturday nights, of course, the network's flagship show, Nonsensical Nonsense Open Door Challenge, where you in the audience gets to click the link and talk to Glick, talk to Jeff. Sometimes I'm there, or I think Connor might be making a comeback here soon.
Ready to make a comeback.
Yeah.
I know he got his staples out. I think.
Yep. And then Sunday, we finish up the week or start the week, however you look at the week. Jeff's Garage. Jeff, you got anything coming up this Sunday?
We do. I have it written down. I got to talk to Benji. Benji and I have been sending articles back and forth with each other about all these new vehicles coming out. So we just need to pick one. But I think I got the winner with Lamborghini's new car.
Gotcha. Before I introduce Brian, we all know Brian here on the network. We'll catch up with him in a moment. I just want to say again, I'm sorry for no skit today. I'm a little disappointed in myself. I got college starting next week, and there's a lot of I dotting and T crossing I have to do to make sure everything kicks off without a hitch. It's all online. I just had an email I read literally before we started that my acceptance or my confirmation letter from the VA side, excuse me, is nowhere to be found. So Monday is going to be a fun day. So Men Caring for Men that night, depending on my attitude, you'll know how that day went. So, but I do plan on bringing more skits. What I'm thinking about doing is maybe doing the skits, do longer ones, but releasing them maybe once a month. That was one of the things I ran in tonight, Jeff. Once I got it all edited after working on it a week, I realized it was too long. It didn't didn't mesh well. I was not happy with it. I want to bring a quality product because I can't bring a quality meat.
Well, hey, I give you all the props in the world for doing the skits because I know, like, when I started Jeff's Garage, I was like, I'm going to do a different intro each week.
Yeah.
Same song, just different clips. And that lasted about 3 times. And I was like, fuck this. I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, so I mean, I still plan on doing it. So, but here's another thing with all that needing to be done, it takes software, it takes subscriptions, it takes all that. Well, one of the things I'm getting along with my, the VA paying for my college is I'm getting, they're paying for my software, my laptop, my camera, and all that stuff. So once I get my Adobe Photoshop shit going on, I'll actually have some more quality stuff. I have something a tool I can work with. I don't have to worry about subscriptions.
Too. And
Canvas isn't bad, yeah. Canvas isn't
I like
bad.
Canva. I use Canva all the time.
What's up, Cactus MPG? How are you doing?
What's up, Cactus?
I just did. No, I just gave you a shout out, but I will give you another one. Welcome, Cactus MPG. How are you doing, my brother? So, Brian, how are you? How's things going? How is your network going, and all that good stuff?
Not on a network, man. We're just doing our thing over at Talking Shit.
Show.
Yeah. So we're
used to calling everything a network.
We're. It's just too much. I think the network's a great idea. It just doesn't fit us because we unfortunately are going to be bouncing around and doing a little bit of trying to move our shows. And we just did this the other night, and the guy was super, super awesome. We had the guy from Parker Lewis, Can't Lose. I don't know if you guys remember that show from back in the day.
Oh, God. I remember. I've heard
I
of it.
don't. I have no idea.
I remember the name.
Yes.
His character was kind of like a Ferris Bueller kind of character.
Yeah, exactly. It was like
everything
Ferris
just happened.
Bueller.
Your network, Mark, that
we call it the Ben Set basement
when it doesn't.
But
or endemic, I have no.
But idea. So we were able to grab that interview because he was like, hey, listen, I only have this day available, and we're probably gonna have to do it a little bit early or a little bit late. And then Mark got the date wrong or the time wrong or something. I don't remember exactly what happened, but the dude was super down to earth, and he was like, look, man, I'm right down the road in St. Pete, and I'll just jump on. We'll do the interview and stuff.
Nice. Fuck yeah.
And I was like, dude, it was a good time, man. And we showed a couple of clips. He's got a couple of films coming out that we're pretty stoked to see. One of them's got something to do with suicide and stuff like that. And
thanks, Cactus.
Thanks, Cactus.
You are too. Yeah.
So, but cool. Other than that, man,
I get that. The problem with the biggest problem with this is not a diss. The biggest problem with your show is the fact that you guys have to move around. So I get the total. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it's if we can stay put on a specific day, I think it'll be fine. It's just when we start getting certain people and they're like, hey, listen, I can't do it then. But yeah, I Feel Fine is the movie that Mark is super excited to see. I want to see the Hidden Bones or some shit like that. It looks freaking good, dude. But we actually got invited to a film premiere in Kentucky.
Nice.
Oh yeah, what part?
Part that you drive to 95.
Louisville. out in Louisville.
Okay.
That's like an hour away. That's like an hour away.
Is it? So it's going to be at the Davis. It was going to be at the Davis Auditorium. You know where that's at?
No, but I'm sure I can find it.
So that's where they do OVW wrestling, and the movie actually.
I have been there. Yes, I've been there. I've been to.
Yeah. So I think that's why we got the invite, which I thought was pretty freaking cool. Mm-hmm. And Mark's like, "Do you want to go?" And I'm like, "Shit, I kind of want to go, but I don't want to go." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
people there. I don't want.
I mean, the big thing is getting there, and then like you got to lodge and stuff like that. If the show was making money, I'd be like, "Yeah, let's go. We're doing this."
And some seats, I like that. I'm gonna steal that joke.
Well, if it turns out only one of y'all go, y'all have a +1. Drop me a line.
There you go.
Mark may still go.
Okay.
Mark may still go. So
Money is the problem. Yeah, I hear you.
Ask Mark if he's in. I
Mark
just don't think I'm
said
in
he is
because
in
I've
as
got-
long as he fixes the money problem.
Yeah. So,
So,
like I said, if the show was making money, if we could find a way to make the show make money, so that we could be like, hey, we're going to California, or we're going to go to Texas, or we're doing this and we're doing that, I wouldn't have a problem with it at all.
Yeah,
You know?
well, it's funny how money solves a lot of the problems like that.
Yeah, it also helps buy me beer too.
thank you, Cactus.
It also helps me buy beer too. So
Beer money is
Yeah,
always a good thing.
Beer money, cigarette money, all that fun stuff.
So the reason why we're here tonight, guys. We also might have Brian from Texas joining us here shortly. He's got his dinner thing going on, work schedule, so he's going to try to squeeze us. Yeah, dude. Okay, I keep getting sidetracked. Now I'm thinking food and barbecue and meat in my mouth.
Let's have a stoner do a show.
So yeah, okay, Deadpool 3. Yes, we're here to talk about Deadpool 3. And if you have in the audience, if you have not seen it, and you're in it's spoiler alerts. We will have spoilers. We don't care. It's been out for a couple weeks. I'm not going to butt my lip forever in a day. So
I'm into that.
So on that note, let's go ahead and Brian, you brought an interesting point up backstage. Our anticipations going into the movie, because it was hyped up for quite a while before it came out. A lot of the, secret cameos. Who are we going to see? Who are they bringing back from the Fox? Who might bring into from the MCU? Which I don't think they did they?
Well, actually, before we get that far in, the first
anticipations. Go ahead.
Well, the first joke that actually is kind of a 6-year payoff shows up. If you remember in Deadpool 2, Celine Dion does the song, and then when he's like, "Hey, we need you to bring it down to a 4," and she's like, "This thing only goes to 11," and he says, "I should have asked NSYNC."
Oh, because yeah.
And then he dances to NSYNC at the beginning of the movie. So it's a real payoff of a 6-year fucking joke.
He was going for the long joke right there.
Yeah, that's a long joke. But it paid off, so I'm not mad at it.
Fair. What was your anticipation going into the movie?
Well, like I said, I don't do theater because people. But one thing, and it's one of those things everybody talked about, who's going to be playing Lady Deadpool? Who's going to be playing Lady Deadpool? And I wanted to see. My disappointment that we talked about earlier was they never showed her face. Like
they didn't. Nope.
But you know who it is.
Yeah, it's Blake Lively. We know it's Blake Lively. Yeah. And it was just her voice. She was not in the suit. It was a stunt double.
That was the same way with, I think, Matthew McConaughey's
as
Deadpool
Cowboy
too.
Pool.
Yeah, the Cowboy Pool was Matthew McConaughey.
Nathan Fillion was Headpool. Kid Pool was played by Ryan Reynolds' kid, and Baby Pool was played by his child as well.
Yeah, both of them were.
Yeah. Mark told me that. I was like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, yep, Blake Lively and his 2 kids. And Ryan Reynolds was super excited to do that.
That's pretty badass. I mean,
at the end of the day,
if you can do it, you're gonna fucking do it.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
And you're Ryan Reynolds' kid. That kid goes to school the next day and be like, that's me. He's cool now.
Here's what I love about this man. He doesn't do sequels unless it's Deadpool.
From what I understand, speaking of which, I think this was his last one. From what I understand, I hope I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong.
I think they'd have at least one more.
I think he tweeted out that if the Gambit movie goes forward, because the Gambit movie is now on deck.
Yeah,
like they're like, we might actually have to make this because fucking Channing Tatum's all like, people are like, we fucking loved Gambit. It was awesome. So Channing Tatum said, if I do it, I want Deadpool to show up at least once.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds tweeted back, I'm in.
All right. But okay, let's get back to anticipation because that's the disappointment that I had. Okay. So, Brian, your anticipations going into the movie, my man.
Anticipation, I think it hit a lot other than what we had just discussed a few minutes ago. How many people did you see from the MCU?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was really expecting a little bit more tie in there. And quite honestly, guys, I'm over the freaking timeline, time breaking, time traveling.
Yeah.
Can we find another way? Can we just either that or make a new fucking movie?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, the one thing they did with the timeline thing that I wasn't mad at, they finally brought it all together. Like, have you seen Loki, the TV show?
Not a fan.
I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. So they bring that in, and that's where you get the Thor crying thing. That's going to be tied in, because now they're all on the sacred timeline.
So
they can get rid of the rest of the timelines now.
What's up, Benji? So, and that's that. Okay. So my anticipation was it lived up to some of my anticipations. I was expecting him to go in and be this plot plug for all this convoluted timeline shit, for him to be the Marvel
the anchor, so to speak.
The anchor, or the Marvel Jesus, which I fucking love that joke, to tell you the truth.
I'm Marvel Jesus.
I'm Marvel Jesus, which yeah. So like I knew that was an anticipation. So I mean, I was expecting that to happen. I wasn't disappointed, but I wasn't thrilled about it at the same time. It being the third Deadpool movie, I'd rather have seen it doing a little bit more with meat, Deadpool wise. Not let's go fix Disney shit,
Right.
which I felt kind of spoiled, if possible, if it's going to be the Ryan Reynolds last Deadpool movie. It's like why waste it on that?
Well,
So.
I think there was a fine line they had to dance with, because as much as Ryan Reynolds is, he piggybacked this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's still got people to answer to, so you can only fight so much.
No, and I get that. I do. I understood Disney was part of the whole kit and caboodle now, and there was going to be a lot of the humor in the first couple films that you're just not going to see. Like the dark humor was gone.
Right.
Like the Upenders freaking love antagonist in the car that he's going to murder or something. Like those dark jokes weren't there anymore. And I didn't think about that when I watched it. I was like, oh, I don't get me wrong. They still had the sex jokes.
Mm-hmm.
They still had the
I loved all the cocaine jokes.
Yeah.
The cocaine jokes cracked me up. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. But the pegging joke cracked me up.
I wasn't expecting that one. I was actually
unfortunately that one was in the trailer, so we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But he kind of gives the camera, he breaks the fourth wall and gives the camera kind of a wink. He's like, it is new for Disney. Yeah. One of my first disappointments was, he gives up so quickly in the beginning of the movie. Like they never explained why him and Vanessa broke up.
They didn't. There was a lot of time gap that they kind of just
brushed over. They're like, let's get to the good shit. Well, okay, but there's huge loopholes here of why him and Vanessa broke up, and what happened to their kid? She was pregnant.
Different timeline.
No, it's the same time. No, it's the same timeline. It's the same timeline. It's the same Deadpool. It's
the same timeline from the Fox movies. Yeah.
The only thing from the different timeline was the Wolverine.
Yeah.
Because he went through the different timelines to find a Wolverine, because in his timeline, Wolverine was dead.
Yeah.
So
which is the Fox timeline.
Right.
Yeah.
So they don't explain why. You see him going to try to become an Avenger. There would have been a missed opportunity where, you could have had like Pepper Potts walk in or somebody else walk in that they didn't do. There was a the funny thing is like Spider-Man's still owned by Fox, so you see the Iron Man helmet, and behind the Iron Man helmet you see the Peter Parker and Tony
Stark, yeah.
but you don't see Peter, you just see Tony, because they blocked it out because it's still owned by Fox.
Apparently, Robert Downey Jr. turned down a cameo in that movie. Ryan Reynolds really wanted him to show up, but they got Favre
it's all
instead.
because it came down to right after Deadpool came out, they were announcing Doctor Doom.
That was
dude. If he would have previewed as Doom, I would have fucking lost my shit, bro.
Right?
That would have been fantastic. Could you imagine? Could you imagine instead of announcing it to the crowd, like it comes out in Deadpool, and all of a sudden you see,
like you find Doctor Doom in the void, and he escapes into the sacred timeline.
Just gotta have that little piece, man. Just that little piece.
That's it. Yeah, there was a couple missed opportunities. I think they did. All in all, I think it was a decent movie. But that first half of the movie, it was like, oh, but what about this? What about that? And why is he selling fucking cars just because he was rejected by the Avengers? Well, the reason why he was rejected, the only reason he went to the Avengers in the first place is because he broke up with Vanessa. Well, why did they fucking break up? He saved her life. He did all this.
So they did say why. It was something like she wanted him to make something out of himself with the powers he had, which was why he tried to be an Avenger. But for some reason it didn't work out for him. It didn't work out too well.
I thought maybe they broke up because of like she had a miscarriage or something like that. Like that.
No,
maybe that's what they were trying to stay away from. And instead of saying, I kind of wish, you're right, Jeff, I kind of wish they would have said something about that portion.
Yeah, they could have literally said, we lost the baby. You know, they could have even had Peter say it in exposition, being like, I get it, you guys lost a baby, you broke up, time to nut up or shut up and get back out there.
Well, that was the trade-off. While Deadpool was filling all the fucking Disney's plot plugs, fucking he went in there to fill Vanessa's plug. Exactly. I couldn't plug Vanessa.
You know, and they did set it up where maybe they could get back together at the end.
Yeah.
You know, because they're talking again, but it's like she was at his birthday party. It's not like they weren't ever talking.
Mm-hmm.
I had this feeling like they were trying to make, like, I get the point of the film was he was trying to save his friends and you know, in his world. It was just
right.
He was trying to save his world because of his friends. He didn't want his timeline to end. But at the same time, it felt like they were kind of writing them off.
Well, the thing is, like, when you have a task of saving the world, you can't think of I'm saving the world. You're as a person put in that position, saving the world is too much.
We got some Uncle
So he
Ben
focused on his
here.
6 people. He said, these are 6 people. I just need to save these 6. If I could save these, in the other world, the rest everybody else could save. So I see what they did there by saying, instead of him saving the world, because it's Deadpool, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, let it rot. I don't care. But if I could save these 8 people or whatever, then it's okay. Which they, you know, that it's that I can't remember what it's called. It's a psychological thing. You're an educated place. You should know this.
I know what
I
know what you're talking about. It's like to ignore the stress of saving the world and just really focus on it and gives you a sense of purpose. No, I get all that. I do. It seemed kind of it goes all back into that, you know, he's the Marvel Jesus. The Marvel Jesus H Christ. So what was y'all's anticipation about Hugh Jackman reprising his role as Wolverine? And like,
I had zero doubts in my mind about the cat.
I thought he did pretty great. I think he even was able to delineate between the Fox slogan that he had done all that time
without a
to like
uniform.
a different variant Wolverine. It was pretty dope. I like
He
it.
was
And I like-
he was more of the cartoony side of Wolverine. Like if you ever watch the animated
right.
series.
Yeah, he was more of the X-Men 97. Yeah.
Right.
Yep,
You know, the beauty of that, by getting a different Wolverine, a different Logan, is you have that ability, because obviously the Logan from the Sacred Timeline's dead, so the need to do it, you're able to find out. Like, you know, the Logan that we all know from Hugh Jackman from the day, he never wore the uniform. He wore it once, and it was black, and he and they made he made that joke.
Yeah.
He's like, you know,
It's a good thing you didn't pick yellow.
right. Well, no, he said, what do you expect to go in a bright yellow unitard? And he's like, but I like that they brought the uniform. The funny thing is, did you catch? I don't know if you've seen it, but there was a huge thing. His arms were CGI'd in. Throughout the whole movie, his arms, he actually had sleeves in the movie, but they actually removed the sleeves CGI and put his arms back in, because test footage, people were like, yeah, we don't like the sleeves. That's why eventually he shows up without the sleeves. So there's this whole everybody's trying to rewatch the movie and watch his arms to see if they can catch a CGI slip. So that explains why when they're in that cave and we meet the huge cameos that everybody freaks out about, where he doesn't have sleeves on all of a sudden. That's where they were like, okay, well, let's ditch the sleeves.
Gotcha. Okay. There was a lot of rumors of what was going to happen in the movie, what was not going to happen. It was quite the over. Not again, it wasn't overhyped. I don't think it was overhyped or underhyped.
Well, actually, when you were actually heading to the movie, you sent us a Snapchat, and you said, "I'm nervous because it's been hyped up."
Yeah.
And I'm afraid it won't live up to the hype.
Yeah.
And the reason why I watched it as soon as I did is because social media has ruined all the cameos and ruined all the surprises. Like, if you watch it tomorrow, you've already seen everything. Like the NSYNC dance, it's a TikTok thing, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not worried about spoiling shit tonight, because all the spoilers are already out there. So.
That's right.
Brian, did you want to add anything before we go to a break?
No, we can
What's
take
up,
a break.
Connor? All right. Before we head up on the break, we will continue with some more Wolverine discussion when we get back. But before we do, I just want everybody to focus in on the ticker at the bottom. Follow us on the social medias. You can find us in the bio link. And that's it. Of course, the breaks here is going to be about 3 to 5 minutes. I set these up for 5 minutes. Trivia question. First one. I can't remember if it's correct answers or wrong answers only, but answers in the comments. See y'all in a little.
go.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. How the fuck is everybody doing?
Still here?
Good, good. I'm glad. I was thinking about quitting myself. So
It's easy. Do you want me to tell you how to do it? No, I'm just kidding.
click. Love you, gents. Just wanted to pop in, say hi. Speaking of cameos, tomorrow, Saturday night. A little bit of foreplay there, Connor.
Oh, le canard.
I just noticed he has a pole vaulter on his.
Yeah, and he did this. He did this way before the Olympics. You know that, right?
Did he really? That is so funny.
Yeah, bro. That's been his logo forever.
Oh, that is so funny. I never noticed.
It's there for a different reason now, but
fair enough.
He identifies as French.
He needs to add a little bit to the bulge. So when we left, we were talking about Wolverine, Hugh Jackman's depiction of a new Wolverine variant. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, well, I was actually. He's technically a variant of Logan that we.
Yeah. So
to speak.
Speaking of variants, they had other variants of Wolverine in the movie. They had Calverine. They
had Patch.
Yep.
They, then you of course you see the short.
The little Wolverine.
Yep, I see. Yep,
that cracked me up so much.
Jeff-sized Wolverine. What's up?
Oh, he's bite size. Oh, what did he say? He's fun size.
He called him the Mary Lou Retton version or something. I forget what he says. He says he's the Mary Lou Wolverine or something like that. And he's like, "Did you stick the landing?" He threw in a Mary Lou Retton reference, and I was like, "Ooh, so many people are not going to get that."
It's great that he got beat up by all the Wolverines.
It was. Yes. Who do you guys think the new Wolverine's eventually going to be?
I think Henry Cavill's got it nailed, dude. Because people freaked out, and he did his own little there's when he makes his claws come out, he did that thing that he did in the other that he did in Superman, and that's how he makes his claws come out in this variant of Wolverine. So people are loving the Cavalry.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Does it? It's.
But will that translate to him being the new Wolverine?
I think it could.
Yeah,
I think it could because he's definitely got the build for it, and they gave him a little too much facial hair. His mutton chops were a little bit big, but he's sitting there working on the bike and revving it and.
Well, he was he the Wolverine on the cross?
No, he was the one working on the motorcycle.
Okay. There was another Wolverine on a cross. There was
that's actually
a
from
comic
the comics.
Backstory. That is from the comics.
That's the comic backstory.
I'm trying to remember.
That's what a lot of people freaked out about.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, it's a Christ reference. No, it's a fucking Marvel reference from like this late 80s.
Yeah.
Like, calm down, Christians. They did give us Patch Wolverine, which with the eye patch. That's also from the comics. Like all the ones you see, with the exception of the short one, are all variants from the comics.
Yeah.
The short one, I think they just threw the short one in because it was funny. But the Cavalry was by far my favorite because I wish I would have saved it, and my kid has my phone, but there was a side by side. They showed clips of the movie and crowds reacting. And when Henry Cavill turns around and he comes out and he puts "You were just leaving," and then punches him through the doorway, people freaked the fuck out. Like people were laughing at the short Wolverine. People were laughing and enjoying the patch and all the other variants. But when Henry Cavill showed up, people fucking lost their minds.
Oh, the theater I was in, people, that was probably one of the loudest parts in of the
Yeah.
movie was when he.
I remember a thing back in the day when they first were doing the Wolverine movies before they picked Hugh to be the Wolverine. There was talk originally of Bruce Willis doing that part, and I was like, man,
there was a couple.
I think he could have pulled it off in his younger heyday.
Yeah,
as the older, think about it as the
as old Wolverine, 100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So I would have loved if that would have been something that would have happened in some universe, but unfortunately,
unfortunately, that would have been cool to have a variant of Bruce Willis as old Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Bruce Willis couldn't do it, but
unfortunately,
that would have been a cool cameo.
That would have been cool.
The only problem with that is I don't think because we're all roughly about the same age, so we would get the reference, but the younger generation was like, "Why the fuck is Bruce Willis here?" would have been the reaction.
It would have been the same kind of reaction when Nick Cage was Superman for a moment. It'd be like, what?
Dude, watch the Flash movie. I fucking freaked out. I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
I called Glick and I'm like, dude, you need to watch the fucking Flash movie.
Just there's like a couple parts of that movie. The movie wouldn't have that. But anyway, we're not here about talking trash on the Flash, but
no, like I do like the fact that Deadpool
actually the Flash movie wasn't bad. It's just the actor I have a problem with.
Agreed.
So
I like the fact that Deadpool says to Wolverine that he's going to be doing it till he's 90 twice.
Yes.
You work for Disney now.
Yeah, they're going to keep you doing this till you're 90. You know, I like that because it's one of those things. Apparently, when the first Deadpool came out, Hugh Jackman had just announced his retirement from playing Wolverine. And then Deadpool came out and he was like, fuck! Because he was like, I want to be part of this.
Yeah.
So it started right there where he's like, fuck it, I got to come back if I can.
Well, I think Ryan Reynolds kind of did this whole like unretire the claws campaign on social media too. So, but I didn't know if that was more of like it
was almost like a baiting. He was baiting him. He's like,
yeah. You know you won.
Yeah.
You look. Yeah, the fans want
you. Chicken? Too. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. There's money in it for you. It's Disney money.
Well, he actually says when he digs up the body, he's like, "Oh, he actually does the Australian voices. The only thing that's going to bring me back is a fat bag of brown cat."
Dude, that scene where he's using pieces of freaking Wolverine to fight with.
Yeah, that was great.
What's funny if you don't watch the face of the skeleton. When he rips off that bottom bone, the face of the skeleton goes, and looks down at the bone. It's a quick flash and you'll miss it. But he's like, what the fuck? And then he starts throwing him. I thought that was a genius way to do the new intro. Because
that whole fight scene in the beginning was absolutely it was warranted. It was warranted. It needed to happen. It was top notch. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, because the troopers just kept coming, dude. It was like, who the fuck are these guys, and where do they keep coming from?
I like how they
it's lullaby time.
They showed the.
This is what happens when you get old, Blazin'. I'm just letting you know right now. You set your phone. So what that is nobody can call me now. That's letting. Hey, you're not getting phone calls. I shut it down at a certain time, dude.
I bet my phone has that option. I might need to turn that option on. I like it.
Yeah, dude, it's do not disturb.
I got
iPhone, yeah.
On it. Oh, okay.
I got Android. And I'm sure it probably has something similar. But
probably something better. Anyways,
Android is definitely better. No, you're good.
One of the things
we'll talk about that on a different show.
Oh yes, Apple versus Android.
That's a fight.
Yes.
You need to get a diehard Apple guy on here. The something my kid brought up when we was talking about Wolverine You remember in one of the I don't remember which Wolverine it is because there was like 40 of them, but at one point he does like a slow pull out of the claws, like he does it. They slowly move out.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Where he does it, he's got 2 of them out, and then the third one slowly comes out.
Yeah.
I think it was a missed opportunity not to do a middle finger with the middle claw.
I thought they did a middle finger.
They did do
not with the claw. Finger. Like the claws, like if he would have done this and the one claw comes up faster than the other 2.
Oh yeah, okay.
That would have been that, and it's one of those things like it would have been a blink and miss it kind of thing. Yeah. But he like the way his claws came out in this movie, they all came out simultaneously at the same time.
So I want to take this moment to rant about reconning Wolverine's claws. Thank you, Fox. I hate you for that. Back in the day, originally Wolverine didn't have bone claws. Like his claws were made from the antimonium that was on his bones through the Weapons X. And then Fox comes along and recons his claws to where they're bones.
Yeah,
now like bones coated with antimonium blades. I don't like that. I mean, like,
well, it's confusing.
One of the comic books actually took us in that direction, though.
Did it?
Okay. Yeah, one of the comic books took us into that direction where I forget which one it was. What it was an older series, but when they put them in that the Weapon X
program,
the Weapon X program, they put them in a chamber. And I guess that chamber, all it was like the needles just injecting.
Well, what that chamber does is it literally replaces the bones
with the
like the antimonium burns out the old bone.
No. They coat his bones. His bones, he's still. Yeah.
I thought it was coated. Sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I always thought it was like a replacement.
Yeah, that's like when because there's been times when Magneto has ripped the metal from his body. And he still has his bones. He doesn't go into a slop of puddle. Oh, okay. But I mean, now I do know that. Well, I mean, I know it's comic book lore. It's comic books fiction. I don't know why I said that.
Well, it's hard to
keep
up with
his adamantium actually slows down his healing factor because he's constantly having to it's like a poison to him. It's like metal poison. So like that time Magneto took it all off his body or took it from him, he was able to like get his strength increased, but he became more feral. His healing factor peaked, and he was
So that's kind of why his brother is more feral.
You talking about Sabretooth? Well, see now there's I've heard stories that his brother, his father.
I don't think that there's
Fox did it as brother.
I don't think. I originally there was.
I think what they were trying to say was his brother from basically like the pack, like the original pack that he ran with.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So that's what I was thinking when they were saying his brother, because I didn't think that he had family. Like, I mean, I think in one of the comic books, like the whole chase down was that the Wolverine portion came from his father, but they never discussed his father. They never say this is who he was and this is what he did or anything like that. Yeah. You could have just said the man's from Michigan.
Right.
He's a Michigan State Wolverine and went to college there,
It's college recreation. What are you gonna do?
Mark would have ate that shit up, dude. I'm telling you. Mark would have ate that shit up.
But it's like the and I never really read Wolverine comics. I did read a lot of Deadpool comics, and I read a lot of Ghost Rider. But I never read a lot of Wolverine. But my knowledge of Wolverine all comes from the cartoon, from the X-Men 97 style cartoon, and the movies.
Yeah.
So you would know more than me on that subject, but the way
I'm not going to pretend like I do.
I'm not saying you do, but from my understanding is it was him and his brother, because if you watch that whatever movie it was where he gets the adamantium, when they added the adamantium to him, it erased his memory, so he doesn't really know who anymore.
Yeah.
Which was the whole series all those X-Men movies.
And that was actually something that played out in the comics, but they also
Right.
elaborated on the story that not that he just didn't remember, but Professor X, a lot of his memories were in not remission, but
they were blocked from.
they were blocked.
Professor
basically.
X blocked them
Yeah.
because he didn't want them to
freak out.
Yeah,
Freak
he didn't want
out.
them to, yeah, basically because. Quite honestly, I think when one of the comic books I read back in the day, you couldn't tell whether he was a good guy or a bad guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was kind of like a anti-hero.
Yeah.
Correct. And that was the same thing with Deadpool. See, I didn't get into Deadpool until the video game back in like the early 2000s or 90s or whatever. When that game came out, there was a video game. It was Deadpool, the video game.
Didn't Deadpool come out in the 90s?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think it was the 90s when Deadpool came
Actually,
out.
let me check.
It was absolutely amazing. I was like, dude, this video game, just in the video game alone, like he
I
killed
remember-
somebody and just it was like oh darn, you're bleeding.
Yeah, I remember that game, the video game on was it? I think PlayStation had it.
Yeah, I think it was a PlayStation.
Yep.
It was a
I remember
PlayStation video game, and the very first time we saw
Deadpool showed up in 1991, February 91, in New Mutants 98.
Okay.
So there you go, 91.
God, I wish I still had.
When
I
was
wish
the
I would've
video
had
game
it.
out? That's what you got to look up.
That was in the early 2000s, I think.
Early 2000, Deadpool the video game. I just remember my daughter Madison. She was very young, and she was like, "Dad, you got to play this." I was like, "Okay."
Actually, the first Deadpool video game was for PlayStation 3, June of 2013.
Oh, is that old? No, that's. I feel
I
like
thought it was older than
That's
that.
first Deadpool
I
video
feel
game.
like I thought it was like
Wow.
very first PlayStation or some shit.
Wow, I think
That's crazy.
I think I've just convinced myself I smoke too much weed.
Me too.
We are coming up on the next break here in about 10 minutes or so, but before we do, I know that's like 10 minutes to talk. I wanted to curve it. What did you guys there is one part of the movie I want to get to, but I want to wait a little bit closer to the end because I absolutely fucking hated that part. But what did you guys think of the antagonist, Cassandra Nova?
Okay, she kind of freaked me out with the hand thing.
It was. I thought that was a pretty cool effect, though.
It was a cool effect, but it kind of it was creepy vibes. I was like, gross. Hands off me, woman. Yeah, you bitch.
I mean, she literally, man, I don't know. I don't.
I thought she did an amazing job.
I don't think I cared for that character.
Do you know who she is, character-wise? Do you know who she is? So
well, she's Professor X's.
She's Professor X's
sister,
but she was removed from the womb before they were born.
Yeah,
she was sent to the void or some shit like that.
I don't think that was a
she actually
great.
brings it up.
I don't think that was a great villainous character because they tried to turn her right at the end. You saw that, right? Like, or, you know what I'm saying? And that kind of, I thought at that point I was like, okay, so what the fuck is happening? Like, is Xavier talking to her? To me, I feel like they could have came up with a better villain.
I agree, like Mr. Sinister at least.
Dude, something like I wasn't expecting it, and then I was like, wait a minute, we're in a different timeline. Maybe it is Professor X, and maybe he just absolutely lost his fucking mind.
Well, they actually say it in the movie. She actually grew up in that space.
That's right. Yeah,
she was removed from the womb.
Yep.
Professor X, Xavier never even knew she existed, and she was basically born in the void. So she grew up there. That's why she.
I was going to say because in any of the other movies, I don't think that they ever bring this child up, right?
Well, Cassandra Nova, from what I understand, she isn't that old of a comic book character. I can't remember when she came out, but it wasn't like it was after the 90s.
Well, I'm actually looking. So her first appearance is 2021 in New X-Men number 114.
That was only like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what? That's
probably 2001. Sorry, 2001.
Okay.
He said 2021. I was like, holy shit.
Sorry,
okay. So I was right the first time. I just don't think she was a fresh enough character with a lot of good meat on the bone to really play a good.
She was almost. She was almost just like whatever. It's like, hey, we need a villain. Okay, throw her in. Yeah, it was almost like she was an afterthought.
Yeah, like they had hyped everything, and not hyped, but they had focused so much on getting Hugh Jackman, the cameos, this and that. They're like, oh shit, we forgot. Oh shit, who's the villain? Who's he gonna fight against?
Professor X's sister. Let's get
nailed it.
Nailed it.
Yeah,
I feel like that too. It could have been an afterthought, and you know,
the actress that played her, her name's Emma Corrin. I thought she did an amazing job.
Oh, absolutely, she was a great actress.
But like
just
I said,
the enemy,
kind of
the character.
The character itself was an afterthought, or the movie.
Yeah. Like the character, like the actress played the character fine. There's nothing wrong with the character, nothing wrong with the acting. Just the fact it's like, why that villain?
And the only reason she actually, at the end of the movie, she tries to destroy everything. Why didn't she do that before?
See, that's what I mean. She has all this freaking power. It's like, and I think that's one thing that pissed me off was, she has all this power. Go ahead.
The only reason that, the whole reason she comes back, because she can destroy it, because there's a time ripper there. But prior to that, this movie, and prior to the Loki series, there's been a time rippers forever.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, she's just like, oh, now I can do it.
Is she stuck in the void? She needs some sort of like contraption to get her out of there, because she seems so freaking powerful with what she can do. Like, I don't understand why.
The only reason she was able to actually, why Wade and Logan are actually able to get out of the void is because a Doctor Strange variant got sent to the void and she stole his ring.
Oh, that's
why
right.
She creates the circle thing.
Yep.
But she's like stupid powerful. Why couldn't she just get the fuck out?
And she already had that ring. That's what makes
she's had that ring for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She had all this unlimited power.
There's loopholes in
she waits for there's some plot holes.
Confirmed it. I'm smart. I still need more.
But did you want to take a break before we get to cameos? Because
we still got cameos, and there's
let's go back to Wolverine real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
The whole movie, he doesn't put the mask on until the climax.
Dude, I got wood.
Did you?
So here's the thing. Fucking rock, dude.
When he put it on, I was not expecting this fucking giant fucking black bullshit, dude.
It looked weird. It was
so weird. I was like,
It looked like it needed to attach. Like, why, if you're doing that, as a person, that I'm going to go out in public in this, why would I put real wings on the side of my head?
Exactly.
The way it was bunched up in his collar, like he had one of those rain jackets.
Like it was a hoodie.
Hood. Yeah, and he pulls it out, and then it's just like
like the roll up hood where it rolls up in a little zipper. Once again, the only problem I have with the hoodie style helmet is if it was meant, the original is meant to cover his hair because his hair is stuck in that position. Mm-hmm. What? No, hold on. Where in this movie, it's just wings.
Yeah. It threw me. I get that they were going for that original. I get that they were going for that original look from the cartoon, from the comic books and stuff like that. I get that, but put your own twist on it. Take those fucking wings that you got sticking way out here and bend them back so that they attach to the head. Because when he turns, you're still going to see that look, that view, that, you know what I mean? Like that kind of upset me. And I was like, when he put the hoodie thing on, I was like, oh, it just got a little gay.
It just got a little gay.
However, when I would get off the bus from school back in the day, when I would come in, X-Men was on the TV. Mm-hmm. So, when I come home every single day, I get to see Wolverine and you get that look and he puts on that helmet and I was like, holy shit, I'm hard as a rock because I'm seeing fucking Wolverine the way I saw it as a kid.
Well, real quick. So talk about this again, just because of the mask. He hadn't worn it the whole movie, and then all of a sudden it appears from behind him.
But he
should have left it
says,
off.
I only put
I
it
agree.
on when I'm going to kill, and I get that, but he killed fucking Sabretooth.
Oh, you know what? I will say this about the Wolverine in the movie. I thought his hairdo sucked dick.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
It was almost like a bowl cut / the Logan cut. It was just really weird. Anyway, that's just a nitpick, a little small
before
nitpick.
we get too deep into the cameos, did you see the Stan Lee cameo? It's a blink and you'll miss it. So they're going through.
He was in it. I do remember him being
There is
mentioned or something.
There is a Stan Lee cameo on the side of the bus.
Oh,
it is
yes.
Stan Lee steamer, and it has a picture of Stan Lee on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little nod. There's a little nod. That's great.
And you'll miss it.
Totally missed it.
But it's
Yeah,
there.
because the thing is you want to see that cameo because we got used to it.
Yeah.
Got used to those cameos. So
What happens in 20 years when the world forgets about who fucking that dude is? You're like, why? Who is that guy?
Who's that old guy?
Who's that old guy we used to put in these Marvel movies?
One of my favorite jokes that's not addressed,
I'm telling my kids it was Albert Einstein.
and we're talking about Nice Pool, the poor bastard that gets his head exploded onto Deadpool.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Human Shield.
As Deadpool tells Nice Pool, see that hot dog cart? They have med kits in them. Did you see the building behind as they're getting up and he says, wait, let the extras leave as they're getting ready to fight all the variants?
Mm-hmm.
There's a shoe store. Right next to the shoe store is a pharmacy.
I did not notice that.
I didn't notice that.
Like I said, the only reason I know this is because I've watched it like 4 times because my kids are like, I want to see it again. I'm like, all right.
God, I've only seen it once. I'm gonna have to watch it again.
I gotta watch it again too. I gotta catch all the nudges.
The shoe store is actually called something Foot, and it's the name of the guy that originally drew Deadpool.
Okay.
So it's that guy's foot is whatever it's called, and then right next to it is a pharmacy. So as he's killing Nice Pool, so he can keep Dog Pool, he tells him the hot dog cart has everything he needs to save him when there's a pharmacy. Right? Fucking Human shields his ass.
I can't believe dude.
I didn't know he didn't regenerate.
He goes, how long does it take you to regenerate? He goes,
he's like, regenerate?
What's that?
Oh my god, he lasted in the void that long. Or no, he wasn't in the void. But
he stops.
Yeah, nice Pool came from the void.
Nice Pool was in the void.
Yeah, he was in the void.
Okay. All right, but he survived all that time and never died. Fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's because
it's because he didn't. It's because he didn't fuck with what's her face.
He didn't fuck with Lady Pool.
Because he was nice. He didn't mess with anything. He was like, no, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, he was almost like a pacifist.
He was
like a diplomat Deadpool.
Yeah. Gorgeous though, right?
Oh,
beautiful locks of hair.
He breaks the fucking fourth wall. He just goes. He says, "The proposal."
Listen, so back in the 80s, you remember the novels that your moms would go and get off the shelf at the Walmart or the
he is the Fabio.
It's the Fabio. Yes, exactly. The cover. He's the cover of those romance novels.
Exactly.
So,
he was.
Speaking of the variants of Deadpool, as we mentioned, Blake Lively did play Lady Deadpool. I think, why wouldn't they have her in the suit and actually have her take her mask off? Where it wasn't even like physically, it wasn't Blake Lively in the suit. It was a stunt woman.
Yeah.
But that would have been a better payoff than just her voice because you can't really tell the difference on her. Like I think I've heard Blake Lively speak twice in my life, so I wouldn't recognize.
Yeah,
I'd be like, "Oh, that's Blake Lively."
It was definitely more for it was definitely more for Ryan, less for Jeff.
I know, I agree, but it because there was this whole thing where there was rumors that it was gonna be either Blake Lively, Miley Cyrus, or
so glad it wasn't Miley.
Taylor Swift.
Miley sounds like a dude. She could have played any of the other Deadpools.
I wouldn't have been mad.
I'm 100% on Miley Cyrus. I wouldn't have been mad at Taylor Swift.
Swift Pool. There you go. Swifty Pool.
But
Swifty
one
Pool,
of the one character, one Deadpool, was played by one of the soccer players from Ryan Reynolds.
Yep.
He had the dragons on. Nathan Fillion's voice is not as recognizable as people think.
I think we should have had Jeff write a whole essay on this movie. I think
I love the movie.
I know. I'm just saying, like, dude, I didn't realize you had watched it 4 times already.
Well, like I said,
props, much mad
son,
respect.
Send the thumb drive.
My son will not stop quoting fucking Gambit. Like,
we will get to Gambit.
I'm make a main of myself.
We will get to Gambit. Brian, what's your time looking at tonight?
We're good, man. Let's go.
You're good?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go hit another break, and we will be back in about 5. and welcome the fuck back. How the hell's it going? Jeff, how's Mexico going?
Hot.
Hot. Just hot. What is dog pool? Nice. That was one ugly fuck. I didn't know. I couldn't tell if the dog's tongue was real or not.
Oh, it is. It's 100% real. That dog is actually it won Britain's ugliest dog.
Oh no shit.
That's how it got cast.
That's probably one of the best cameos. Speaking of cameos, Brian, what cameo in the movie did you enjoy the most?
Mine was Blade.
Yes.
I'm not mad at that.
Wesley Snipes, after 4 years in prison, gets to come back and reprise the role of Blade. So I'm super excited because now I know we're going to get more Blade movies. I don't know if it's going to be a reboot. I don't know what exactly is going to happen. I don't know how it's all going to tie together with.
There is some info out on Blade.
Is there?
Yes. I think the project is slated to start in 2025 or come out in 2025.
Okay.
But they already have the new Blade actor.
Right, they got a new guy.
Yeah, Mara Shahala Ali.
Yeah.
He's a good actor. He's played it.
He's a good actor. The funny thing is, like,
Blade 20. It comes out next year. He was in Green Book, Moonlight, Detective, Marvel's Luke Cage, Swan Song. He's been in a lot of movies, but he's playing the new Blade.
Yeah.
So that's out next year. Actually.
Very cool.
I guess it's coming out.
Snipes took a dig at the new movie already because in Deadpool, he literally says as they're pulling up in the minivan, "There's only one Blade. There's only going to be one Blade." He says.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's like, well,
I thought it was.
Is that the fact?
I thought it was cool to see Wesley Snipes back. I mean, the white beard was kind of like, whoa. That was cool.
I was digging on it. It looked good.
He wasn't as muscle bound as he once was in the original Blades. That was a little weird. He looked like an old biker, like the skinny old biker wearing the leather.
Yeah.
He's like, "This is my first day on a motorcycle. How you doing?"
I was a little disappointed that he didn't have his katana.
Yeah, me too. I was a little disappointed about that too.
Horror
his
movie.
little Shikara thing, yeah.
But he almost had like a cheapy machete.
He could have borrowed Ryan Reynolds. He could have borrowed Deadpool's freaking sword.
Honest, right?
Yes.
And fucking went to town. Like, little knife.
Baby knife, he calls it. Yes.
I love that shit. Baby knife.
You know what? The one thing they did in this movie is the fight scene in the van, which, I'm sorry, the newest car that everybody's going to want to buy to have a movie car is going to be those fucking Honda Odysseys.
Oh, I see that now.
But Deadpool pulls out those mini blades that he's got on his chest, and they have little Deadpool faces on them. And I was like, finally. Because you see them, because you can literally buy the suits, the Deadpool suits, movie accurate online. And,
for thousands of dollars.
Yeah, they're like $5,000.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? It's worth it.
I don't have the physique for it.
You don't have to. No, picture this. You roll up on a brand new motorcycle wearing Deadpool. You just full out Deadpool. Man. I will fucking do it.
Listen, the kids will love it. The bikers will fucking kick your ass, I think.
Dude, this Halloween, there's going to be a bunch of kids dressed up like Deadpool variants. Yeah, I would not be surprised if like a whole gaggle fucking kids with different variants all dress up in a group and go trick or treat.
Because
that'd be sick.
Suicide Squad came out, every chick dressed like fucking Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
So it's gonna happen. And I'm not mad at it at all.
Oh no, not especially if there's a hot MILF wearing the lady pool costume. Bonus. You get the big Snickers.
Which party do we go to for that?
I get my wife to buy a red onesie, so I'm like, Lady Deadpool. Like, come on, it'll be fun.
Cosplay, role play.
Oh,
What about you, Blazin? What was your favorite cameo?
My favorite cameo? Oh shit. I never really thought about it. I have my favorite. Um I don't know.
you know what?
I did like the Juggernaut one. Like I've always had a curious fascination with the Juggernaut, not like a fascination.
The
but
only problem I
like
had with the Juggernaut they used, they didn't get Vinnie Jones.
I was upset about that too, but I did
I
like
was
the
like, you know what? It's a phone call, Ryan. Come on.
yeah.
Because Vinnie Jones was, when he played Juggernaut in the X-Men movies, I was like, you know what? I get it. It's fucking Vinnie Jones. The guy's a badass.
Yeah.
I don't know who the guy that played Juggernaut in this one. I did like the Chris Evans cameo. I thought that was hilarious.
Yes, that was probably like
Raise your hand if you were.
Entertainment wise, probably the best.
Raise your hand if you were expecting Captain America.
I kind of did.
I expected him to say something else. Yeah, we all did, bro.
And that's the beauty of it, because
I was like,
everybody forgets that he played Johnny Storm first, and like fucking Deadpool's reaction is perfect. He's like, he's gonna fucking say it.
He's gonna fucking say
and he's hugging up on him and shit. And Chris Evans just grabs his hands and puts.
I did like the post credit scene because it tied back in that same character.
Well, and
so you did watch you did watch all the way to the very, very end.
I did, yes.
Okay, a lot of people didn't.
So it's a Marvel movie, man. They're always a post credit scene. Either A, you can sit in the theater and wait for the credits to roll, or you go out to your car and look it up on YouTube real quick. I mean,
yeah, in fact,
I'm already in the theater. I'm gonna sit there and wait.
Yeah,
I might as well. Unless I got to really piss really bad. Unfortunately, on the website I used to watch, it didn't have the end credit scene. Now that they've updated it to the HD version, it had the end credit scene, so I finally got to see it.
That's what you get for movie piracy.
Hey.
See, I enjoyed sitting in the theater with a large
it's legal
popcorn.
over there.
I know, with a large popcorn with some M&Ms and some Reese's Pieces dumped in there, shaken up.
I go and I get these bags of chips, and I got everything.
No, the fresh popcorn with a shit ton of butter, the popcorn salt. But here's the kicker, bro. You keep some M&Ms. You don't put those in there. You get Nerds, the Nerds clusters. Don't get the pink pack. You get the blue pack. You eat the popcorn, you eat the fucking Nerds. I promise you, it's the best thing you'll ever have in your life.
Hold on, you put the Nerds in with the popcorn?
You can if you want to. I was going back and forth between the popcorn and the Nerds. I was like, oh my god, it's so
fair.
My wife looked at me and goes, "That looks disgusting." And I was like, "Here, try one." And she did.
Well, the crazy thing is,
dude, two days later, we had a bag of Nerds here at the house, and we're watching a movie, and she's like, "Want to make some popcorn?"
Well, the crazy thing here is when I go to the cinema here, I only go to the VIP, and it's only like $10 a person. But they have waiters that bring you food and beer.
We have that here, but it's not $10 per person.
Oh, it's Mexico. It's $10, dude.
Yeah.
Like the regular movies is like $8.
We caught a matinee. It was like $13 here. Wasn't that bad?
But I always get the same thing. I get 2 or 3 hot dogs. I get a box of popcorn and a big ass fuck off Coke. And everybody else get whatever you want. Don't touch my shit because I'm gonna eat it.
You're eating that whole fucking thing of popcorn?
Oh, dude. I'm terrible. But one of the things they have this big fuck you sandwich. It's a they call it a baguette, but it's like that. And I'll get one of those, 2 hot dogs, and a box of popcorn, and I'll usually get nachos and shit. But yeah, I go crazy.
Man, I don't know what it is. The first hour I'm slow and sluggish on these things, but the second hour I start to pick back up. Cameos. Okay. Let's talk about Gambit.
Everybody wants to talk about Gambit.
I fucking hated that role. Not
really.
I hated it. I hated it.
saw Gambit in the cartoon. It's the first time I ever heard about Gambit, and instantly I was like, I like this dude.
I always liked Gambit
him.
as far as the card tricks and the throwing cards and stuff like that. I love that too. I thought that if he was going to come in as Gambit, because there was talk about this a while ago anyway, I was hoping that stupid headgear, dumb face mask looking thing from the comic books was not going to be a part of that. Or if it was, maybe it's only that part of him for a few minutes, and then all of a sudden it gets ripped off.
Takes it off, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we
or
see
put the back in his hood.
What the Gambit's going to look like, you know. So, yeah, somebody was saying that he didn't do a great job from...
I thought he did an excellent job.
I think he did too. But
his
I guess
Creole was a bit thick.
And I was like, you got to understand something about the people that live in Louisiana.
Yeah,
it's multiple different accents.
Yeah. And it's Creole. Creole is a hard one to do, but it was so thick that in order to understand everything, you got to read the fucking subtitles, or they need to add them, because I've seen it 4 times. There are still lines where I'm like, what did he fucking say?
So why did you hate it, Blazin?
So, okay, first of all, I love Gambit, the character, the comic book character, like one of my favorite X-Men. The dude's got some power. Like, he can pack a punch. Like, his power is pretty cool, and he fucking holds back a lot in the comics, in my opinion. The costume, I was on the fence with. It could have been better. They could have dropped the purple face thing, or they could have left it on. I mean, I wasn't too hurt. I did not like Tatum. I thought it was more of a big boned Gambit, or something. Like, it was too.
Oh, he's a thick boy.
Yeah, and
I see where you're going with that. Yeah, like he's kind of like a muscle bound Gambit.
Yeah,
Gambit is more of a wiry guy,
dexterous, kind of scrappy dude, and it just wasn't there. And I love the character. I just don't think Jason Tatum did a very great job. I would love to see Gambit come back.
Didn't they do the dude that did that not Ghost of Mars? What's that Mars movie? The guy they did a Gambit a while back, but it was
did they?
There was a Gambit in a movie, one of the X-Men movies.
You're right, long hair guy.
It was
remember what
by
you're
talking.
I remember who you're talking about now. It was a bar scene or some shit like that.
It was played by it's X-Men Origins. Taylor Kitchen.
Yeah, that was just like a small role, kind of like it was a teaser role. We might do a Gambit movie.
That was the movie he was in. I thought he was when you're talking about wiry, dexterous Gambit, he was in a T, but his Creole was shit.
Oh yeah. Like the accent, the accent in Deadpool 3 when it comes again, I can take it. I can take it or leave it. I get that it is Creole, like authentically, boom, nails it. On the flip side, your audience is a lot of people who don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. So I mean, and I know that might sound bad, but I don't know. I think Gambit's an important X-Men character. You can't just throw him on the screen willy-nilly and expect it just to go over well. So
I think I got a good pop though. I think a lot of people enjoyed seeing.
Oh yeah,
especially
there was supposed to be a Channing Tatum Gambit movie.
Yeah,
and it got shit canned.
Yeah.
So for him to show up as Gambit, I think we're gonna get a Gambit movie because of it. Because people are like, "Holy fuck, finally!" kind of thing. And I love Channing Tatum. The dude can't do wrong in my eyes. What you're saying about him being a muscle-bound Gambit, that never really entered my mind until just now.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like.
It was just the whole aesthetic. It was the whole aesthetic of it. It didn't jive with me at all.
But I do agree with that purple weird thing he had. It looks like somebody cut out the front of a ski mask. It points, but still sticks. But it looks like it's made out of fucking latex, and I'm like, why?
Yeah. I mean, I love the idea that they actually brought Gambit to the screen again, like in that capacity.
But they also didn't give him the cane.
I'm used to
Gambit had a
Gambit.
cane.
Not when I first read him in the comics, but yeah, later on, yeah.
Well, once again, I never read the comic. Most of my X-Men stuff comes from the cartoon.
Fair enough.
But they did give him the cards and stuff, and that, my kids and I are trying to do that stupid card trick that he does, but it's actually super hard. Because they're like, that's cool, and I'm like, yeah, that's CGI because he's doing it this far out. But it is possible to do it short-handed. And we watch videos on YouTube trying to do it. So you got to give it up to learn a lot of that. The flipping of the card, the throwing it. That shit's not easy.
Yeah.
So, he's put in the work. He's got it. Like I said, the accent was a little bit thick. It could have been toned down a little bit. And Ryan Reynolds' character, Wade / Deadpool, hits on that. He's like, who's your dialect coach? So they kind of played it up a little bit.
Yeah.
What do we think about Elektra, though? About coming back?
I honestly,
piece of shit. I'm sorry.
That was a senseless fucking cameo.
Who was it?
Jennifer Garner.
Oh, Jennifer Gardner's character. Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah.
Did they do that because her and Ryan Reynolds used to date back in the day?
I don't know.
Well, she was married to Ben Affleck, and so when they say that
They
Daredevil died, he said the Daredevil that was in the void died, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And she's like, I'm over it. nice little pick on.
That's a little wink nudge.
Yeah, how about maybe they just couldn't get him to cameo.
Ben Affleck?
So they went with Ben Affleck, which I'm glad they didn't.
But if you watch the fucking Elektra movie, wow, that's a huge piece of shit. Oh my god, it's terrible.
I wasn't a big fan of it. No.
Oh, it's huge. I mean, I give props to Jennifer Garner for coming back for it. She looks amazing. She did well. She's got the moves down. Did they need her? No.
Not one bit.
But she's the appetizer to you getting Snipes. I
would have rather have seen other X-Men from Wolverine's time. You know what I mean? Somebody like
great.
Storm or
Halle Berry would have been an amazing cameo.
Yeah.
Well,
dude,
they almost had Nick Cage as Ghost Rider, but he turned him down.
Really? The fuck was
Nick Cage turned them down. This is the motherfucker that will do any movie you put. Don't get me wrong. I love Nick Cage.
Yeah.
I watched Nick Cage read a fucking book. I love that motherfucker. I will watch that dude in anything. But for this dude to turn him down, what is he finally turning down movies? What the fuck?
Why did he turn it? Did he give a reason why?
I think it was a
I'm
scheduling
curious
thing.
now.
I think it was a scheduling thing.
But here is a Ghost Rider tidbit that I learned recently. The guy who plays Soldier Boy, Jensen Ackles or whatever his name is.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess he's going to be playing the new Ghost Rider, and I'm not mad.
Well, he wanted to play either Ghost Rider or Batman.
I think he'd be
great.
great.
That he got the Ghost Rider spot. Yeah. So who is going to be our next Batman?
If I was an actor,
Batman,
one role I would not want
Robert Pattinson.
Batman or Superman.
It is.
I would not want
Patterson.
Yeah, it's going to be Patterson again because he did that. He did the Batman.
He's already done one. They're making a second.
And it wasn't.
And I don't want another remake of Batman. I want more story to Batman. I want to know. I
don't want to see Martha and Wayne die again. No. I don't need it. We don't need it.
I'm waiting to see Batman get his back broken. That's what I'm waiting for.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm waiting for that day. So
might get it in this one. Maybe Ben Affleck can make a cameo as Batman again when that happens.
I love Batman. I don't care what
Did you like him as Batman?
I like Batfleck. I have no problem.
Batfleck. I didn't.
No problem with Batfleck.
Didn't.
I have a problem with Batfleck.
Didn't care for him.
Affleck.
I love Ben Affleck.
Listen, best Batman out there, and you can tell me I'm wrong. Best Batman out there also is Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah.
We had that discussion last week. That was
Did you?
Yeah, Batman was last week.
Yeah, my favorite.
And I watched it after the show, or else I would have shown up and told Chris to shut the fuck up.
What was that, Brian?
I said he's my favorite of all times. That's
yeah.
If he'd come back and reprise the role and be the one that gets his back broken, I'd be okay.
Watch the Flash movie, buddy.
I did. I
thought
it was okay.
Yeah.
It was
the Nick Cage pop up. Fucking, I lost my.
I'm still upset that they didn't bring Halle Berry back. I didn't even think about that until someone mentioned it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't understand why they brought this other character in that was absolutely fucking pointless.
It was Halle Berry. There was Kelsey Graham for Beast.
Kelsey
They could have brought back Grammer.
Yeah.
They could have brought in dude who played Nightcrawler.
What was the
they did bring in Ezekiel in. They did bring. They could have brought him back.
What was the guy with the glasses? What's his fucking name? Cyclops. But what's his name?
Yeah. Steven Summers.
Yeah,
they could have brought him in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they did bring his Hazel back. You said.
The blind lady.
No, his Hazel is the devil guy.
Yeah, that's Nightcrawler's father.
Oh, yeah.
Is he Nightcrawler's father? I didn't
know. As far as that's what I think. I think there's like a couple different stories about Nightcrawler's past. One real, one fake.
There was a couple of cameos that were in X-Men's Origins that if like Hazel, that if you were looking, you could see. They don't have speaking lines; they're just in the fight. I think it was X-Men's. I can't remember what it was where they show Magneto going into a room full of mutants, and there's one girl. She's got it's like spiky hair and shit. She ends up joining him. She's there. There's a couple of those show up. Like Hazel was in the one with Kevin Bacon. There was a couple of cameos that you saw but you didn't see because they didn't have speaking lines. They were mainly villains.
Yeah, they were just in the background.
Nods to movie. Ooh, I saw that flipping.
I almost knocked my lamp over.
The nods to the older movies. When what's the girl version of Logan? What's her name?
You talking about his daughter?
Was Weapon 23 or whatever she's called?
Yeah. The
Lauren or something like that.
Yeah.
Lauren, She puts on the glasses. Those are the same glasses she wore in the movie.
Yeah.
That she stole from the gas station. I thought that was cute. Little side back.
Oh, I mean, I think I'm looking forward to when Marvel actually starts the X-Men phase.
Yeah.
Hopefully
I think they'll do a better job because the X-Men movies were good for their time. They don't hold up. They don't compare. Like if you watch, like my son, because now he's seen Wolverine and Deadpool, he's like, oh, maybe I should watch Wolverine. I'm like, no, it's okay. Now he's all over it, and he's like, these aren't as good. I can't get into it. I'm like, yeah, well, you're used to the good shit, and you're going back to the. Yeah.
My wife watched them, and then she was like, I got to Logan, and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
like I fell asleep. I was like, really? She was like, yeah. I was like, it's probably not the best movie in that franchise, you know.
What, Logan?
Well,
Logan.
I did not like it.
Ooh, I bet you just said something that pissed a lot of people off. That movie is highly regarded as being one of the best Wolverine movies.
I think it's a little dry, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There's just not enough context, I guess, for
a Wolverine movie. He froze.
He just did freeze.
Um,
Oh, that's a bummer.
one part of the movie, I wanted to ask you guys about your experience. The campfire
Hello?
scene.
Oh, there he
I was
is. He's
fucking-
back.
The
What
campfire
happened?
scene.
You froze, man.
Was that me?
Yeah, that was all you.
Oh, I was like, the internet just fucking went.
Oh.
It does that to me sometimes.
What
where
do
I'm at.
we
It
think
fucking
about the
pisses me off.
campfire scene where Laura and Logan are just sitting there shooting shit?
And
Where
Logan,
he's
oh,
all
man.
woe. He's all woe is me, and she's like, "You are the dude."
Are you talking about in Deadpool 3 or
In
like?
Deadpool.
Oh, because you said Logan, I was thinking like Logan the movie.
Sorry.
It
Sorry,
was.
when Wolverine and Laura, he's out. You know, he's
It was-
drinking, sitting there.
It was a good moment, good Kodak moment.
Do we need it? Because I honestly wanted to fast forward.
Well, I guess compared to a lot of the other parts of the movie, it was probably the slower part.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think having a heart-to-heart moment in any story isn't necessarily a bad thing. It adds to the character development, I think, especially coming from her, because I have a feeling that she's going to be doing more X-23 movies, or at least one or two more, and I think that kind of helps cement her inner character in that moment. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's just the way I look at it.
Like I said, when I was watching, I was like, "Oh God, can we get to the fucking shit already?" Because I'm sitting here and I'm like, I want to see the fights. What do we think about Bob? I love Bob.
Bob.
Peter. Sorry, Peter. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Peter.
I was like, who the fuck is Bob?
Sorry.
Talking about his Pookie Bear?
Yeah, Pookie Bear.
I love
Pookie
that
Bear.
how he hits on the head of the TVA, and she's like, "What's up?" I love it. They're kind of digging on each other.
Oh, he was a dad joking fucking Riz having dilf, man.
Oh, that guy cracks me up.
You want out of my paper? Yeah, hold on.
Ending scene where Deadpool sacrifices himself, where he tries to, but he still has the time to play in the fucking glass. And he's doing like a little flying thing, and he's the best is as the energy goes through the two of them. Wolverine's shirt gets ripped off, and Deadpool still has the time to go, "Damn, this motherfucker's gonna have," kind of thing.
That was definitely for a fourth wall joke. That was the only reason for
definitely
that.
a fourth wall joke.
Yeah.
Once again, he's got the helmet on for that.
I know the shirt rips off, but the helmet stays right in place. I'm
Stays
sure
on.
Brian loved that part.
What's super funny is
I didn't.
Lisa's shirt's been off any weeks. Like when he did the.
What's going on? I'm
China.
trying to think of.
Remember when Wolverine was in China?
Technically, it was kind of like two villains, because the guy at the TVA, he was a villain as well.
Yes. I guess you can actually consider him the main villain, really.
Yeah, because Cassandra, she's only a villain because she gets out of the void.
Yeah.
And when they were in the void, she was a villain. But the main reason they end up in the void was because the guy that captured Wade.
The disobedient employee that wants to take over the worlds.
Yeah, I just that he kind of gets his comeuppance.
Yeah.
But they never say what they did to him. Did they send him to the void? Did they?
I don't know what they did with him. I think his bosses came in. I think apprehended him from what I remember.
Well,
God, I
they
should have
did.
watched it again. Yeah.
They did, and it gets brought out, and he's Deadpool and Wolverine. Everybody thinks they're dead, and he's sitting there like, I technically saved this, and then Deadpool and Wolverine come out and tell the truth, and he's like, fuck, he's he's shocked that they survived.
Yeah.
Because he says when they go in there, if you're touching
Now Jeff's frozen.
matter,
Oh, Jeff is
that's
frozen?
all you. No, that's
Either
all
that
you.
or he's just holding on.
Neither of y'all are frozen on my end.
No, that's just you.
Huh?
Neither
That's
of you guys
just
are frozen on my end.
He's frozen
Yeah.
on my end.
No,
Weird.
that's your computer.
That's the void fucking everything up right there.
Yeah.
It's because we talked about it. We said it a little too much. We talked about too many people in this.
3 times. It's us giving shit to Channing Tatum for playing Gambit Bat.
I'm trying to remember some more like focus points about the movie. I mean,
was anybody expecting Chris to get his guts just fucking dropped on the ground, like the skin and bones removed from?
Oh no, that happens all. Oh, dude,
did that trip you guys out? Because I thought for sure like he was just going to disappear or disintegrate or something like that, not just fucking hey,
yeah,
ripped his skin right off of his bones. I was like, okay,
it looked like he passed some Hellraiser.
Shit's getting real over here, huh?
We were talking about the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
And the post-credit scene is Chris Evans saying all this shit about Cassandra. Well, there's a theory online that at one point while he's talking about that, they show the camera that's capturing
in that dome. Yeah.
Right. And the theory is that Deadpool has edited it to make it look like Chris Evans' character is saying that. To clear his name.
Quote unquote clear his name.
Because and the reason why I bring that up is the camera that they have in there is one of those 3 lens cameras that you see like in the 50s, and it's a callback to the She-Hulk TV series where She-Hulk talks to. Yeah,
I never watched.
Didn't watch it either.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, at one point in She-Hulk breaks the 4th wall and goes talk to Kevin Feige. But Kevin is actually an anagram for a machine that runs the MCU.
Gotcha.
The machine is a giant camera that has that look.
From what I understand, when it comes to the Marvel Universe, this next series or phase, I don't know what they're fucking called.
I think
it's a phase
that they're going into. They're not going to be as commingled as they once were with the shows and spin-offs. They're going to be like they'll rely on each other, but they're still more standalone. And that's what the DCU is going to go with too, is what James Gunn's saying, which I'm really happy with, because I'm sorry. One of the reasons why, right, so when it comes to the MCU, when they started talking about all this and the Iron Man movie came out, and I'm like, fuck yes, I love comic books. This is a great time with Hollywood and technology to really bring these comic books to life on the big screen in a really good way. Yeah, I mean, they've tried in the past, and there's been some good ones and some bad ones and whatnot.
Edward Norton's Hulk.
Yes. Oh, another day. But so I was really fucking ecstatic about, my God, the comic books I read in the 80s and as a kid is coming to the big screen in a big fucking way. And I was so in for it. All the movies. And then they were like, oh, Netflix is going to have all these 5 Marvel shows that tie into the movies. And then there's going to be these cartoons that tie into the movies. And I'm just like, I can't do this. That killed it for me.
Yeah,
so if you
I'm getting all my time usurped by the fucking comic book now.
Yeah, the problem is, like, if you go on to Disney Plus right now, and they actually have different ways to watch the MCU.
Right.
And one of them is chronological order, as in the order of when they quote unquote happen.
Yeah.
It starts with like Iron Man and works, it actually starts with Captain Marvel it starts with Captain America, then it goes into Captain Marvel, then it goes into Iron Man. But like the 5th one is Agent Carter, a 5-season show.
Yeah, fuck that.
Pass.
And I'm sorry, it's fucking boring.
If anybody is listening to this, and I might get to it one day in my life, but if anybody out there is listening, you already have the answer, or if you know where the answer is, how many hours would it take to watch the complete MCU from the very beginning up until Deadpool 3? The entire thing. And let me know how many hours that is.
Jeff's looking.
Oh man, I see that's information like I kind of want to know, but I don't know if I want to know because
no, the minute you know, you're gonna be like, oh man, I'm not binge watching it that long.
Yeah, it's like if I have that much vacation time, I'd rather go do something.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's not a TV show, so there's some TV shows out there that I'll binge watch. Like I don't know if anybody's seen it or not, but the Tulsa King.
I have the answer.
Okay, go ahead. Hold on, Jeff. Jeff, 1 second. Brian, go ahead and finish, and then we'll.
Tulsa King. Have you seen it?
Yes, I enjoyed it.
Okay, so I think it's 9 episodes, right? If you haven't seen it, Blazin', if you get past episode 1, just binge watch the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take a Sunday, binge watch it, because when season 2 hits, you're gonna be like, holy fuck, thank God.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it was great. It was fantastic. So sorry.
Jeff, what you got on how many hours?
MCU, including TV shows, up to Deadpool. That is 31 movies.
Jeez.
Holy shit.
Yes, 31 movies.
Is that many movies already?
If you take 0 breaks, 124 hours over 5 days.
That's not as much as I thought it would be.
I don't
but
think
still, that is a lot.
That's just the movies. That's not including the series.
I mean, I guess if you
Actually, no, it says movies and TV shows.
I guess if you set the fridge right next to your couch, wore a colostomy bag, had somebody swap it out.
If you could watch it in the
I mean, you could probably make that happen. Guinness Book of World Records, here I come.
Pass.
Pass or no shit.
I'm taking a pass on that one.
There's a lot of things I can do for 124 hours. Watching all those movies is not it.
No.
Yeah, no. Listen, here's the thing. If you want to watch them in chronological order, then go ahead. Watch a movie a day. You know, that way you can wrap your mind around other things.
Yeah.
Stacy said everything's on Disney. All the MCU stuff.
It's all on Disney.
Well, it's because Disney owns MCU now, so there you go.
Well, one of the things that, you know, when I think it was before Captain Marvel came out, the kids and the wife and I sat and watched the entire MCU movies. We skipped over the TV shows because it was like, yeah, we don't care.
Yeah.
But we watched everything. We watched, you know, we've seen She-Hulk. With the exception of things like Agent Carter and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we've watched it all. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the problem is that there's like 5 seasons of that shit.
Is there really?
Hold on. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., let me look it up.
Oh. While you look that up, concerning the Deadpool 3 movie, Brian, what's your overall opinion? Yay, nay, trash?
7 seasons.
I liked it. I liked it because if it's Ryan Reynolds, you know, salute to us to say goodbye. I think he did a fantastic job. I think that the Wolverine that they have in this film is absolutely fantastic as well. Could we have changed some things? Sure. Will we change anything? Probably not. But I'll watch it again. I'll watch it again because of those nods that we were talking about, things that Jeff had mentioned that I didn't get to catch, and I'm sure you didn't catch that, right, Blazin?
Oh, no.
So I'd go back and watch it again. I'd absolutely go back and watch it again.
Yeah.
But
even the
on a scale of 1 to 10, I think this movie probably rates right around a 8.
Okay, that's fair.
I agree with that number. About an 8 for me. It's not perfect, but there's only like 3 perfect movies in the entire planet out of the millions of movies there are. So, yeah, I'd say about an 8. I don't think anybody's really got a 10. Once, as Brian said, if Ryan Reynolds is in it, he's one of those actors like I'm in. He's in there. Why not? Hugh Jackman, with the exception of that weird cowl,
The hood, stupid fucking hood.
hoodie.
The hoodie.
But like in the movie, when you first see it, you're like, okay, my dick's as hard as rock. I'm in. And then you look at it a second time, you go, not as hard this time. It's the wings, And the best part is Deadpool does make a joke about him, so it's forgiving in that part where even Deadpool's like, "What's up with the fucking wings, dude?" I'd say definitely an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't fly away.
So my final critique is yes, Deadpool 3 is a good movie. Was there some things that I missed from switching over from Fox to Disney, and some of the less darker comedy wasn't there that I missed? Yes. A lot of cool cameos, absolutely. Some I think were better than others. Some I would have rather have saw. But when it comes to Ryan Reynolds, for some reason, I've been a fan of his ever since like Waiting and Van Wilder and shit, and all his movies.
Girl on a Pizza Place.
Oh yeah, all his movies I can watch over and over again. Ryan Reynolds himself as an actor, as a person, has always drawn me into any of his projects. So for that, definitely is a huge bonus. So I'll definitely watch it over and over again. I would probably give it an 8, 8.5. I'm right there with you guys. So
Right on.
I thought I was going to be a little bit more harsh, but after talking about it and stuff, I'm like, Jeff, Brian, you reminded me some parts that I forgot I had watched. So, yeah.
Well, and like you said, how many times have you seen it so far?
I've only watched it once. I've seen the
Same.
other two like so many, like lots of times.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch the third one again before I did this show tonight, but my week just kind of got away from me and I wasn't able to. But it's definitely something I'm going to watch again in the next couple of weeks.
Like, I think like I said, I've seen it like 2 or 3, maybe 4 times. With each watch, the first time you watch, there's so much going on. There's no way in hell you can catch it all at once. So the way I watch a movie for like the 5th time or something like that, I'm watching something that's going on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they blow up the shoe store, I didn't catch the first time Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, say, "Give it a beat till the extras clear the scene," and then he goes, go. I didn't catch that the first time, and it's a hilarious part that I was still rivaling from the two of them walking out and stuff. I love the fact that all the Deadpools stopped shooting as Wolverine's carrying Dogpool across. but I saw something today that I got to bring up. That is the ultimate dad joke. As a dad, the kids are like, "I want a dog," and mom and the kids are like, "We want a dog," and I'm like, no dog. Then you get the dog, and everybody ignores the dog, and the dog becomes the dad's best friend. That was the epitome of that joke.
Fair, yeah, I see that.
He was kind of like, "You're not keeping the fucking dog." Before they get in the minivan, he's like, "We're not keeping the dog." And
Stacey said, "AKA Mary Poppins."
Yeah, Mary Poppins. That was the dog. That's actually the really the dog's name in real
Mary
life.
Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Ugliest dog in Britain.
Ugliest dog in Britain. She won. Is that what it was? Yeah. There she is. What the hell happened to that poor dog?
It's actually a mix. So, the Xolo dog, it's Xolo Squeak. I can't remember what it's called. It's a Mexican breed of dog that's a hairless dog, but they have.
It's a cross between a chupacabra and a.
It looked like a chupacabra.
Well, you guys seen the movie Coco, right?
A what?
I know a porn actress by the name of Coco.
No, you saw the Coco
Stripper.
the
porn
Disney
actress.
Coco movie where the kid dies.
No, I haven't seen Coco.
Okay,
I don't watch a lot. I don't watch a lot of Disney.
No.
so I'm putting how to spell.
I make an exception for Marvel movies because of my childhood, but like
I just put in the comment, how do you say it? It's Xolo Ciclo. They are a hairless dog. That's what that dog is. It's a breed of that and a Chihuahua.
You can pronounce that. You get to come up and talk trash to Jeff for an hour.
So this is what those dogs look like. Let me add this here.
Normally,
That's a healthy one. But they have jaw issues where they lose their teeth. It's a genetic thing.
that dog no way looks anything like Mary Poppins.
No. He said it was a cross though.
It's
That's
a mix
okay.
one of these and like a Chihuahua.
it's that and a Chihuahua. It's got to be something else too, though.
Oh my god.
Probably. But yeah,
It's a chupacabra or hyena or something.
dogs.
It's a pug ugly.
Yeah, it's a mix between a couple of dogs, but like the Xolo dogs. Here's another example of a Xolo dog. As you see, Mary Poppins looks very similar.
Yeah. The spike going down the head. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. But yeah, they have their tongues can't stay in their mouth. The only thing that keeps a dog's tongue in its mouth is the dog's teeth.
Yeah.
And that's what happens with Mary Poppins here.
She got punched in the mouth.
She's lost her teeth.
Okay.
They lose their teeth. So that's why Mary Poppins is so ugly.
Ah,
Sorry, it's a Mexican thing. They love their fucking Xolo dogs. Those dogs are not cheap either, dude. They're like 15 grand.
That's
They're 15 grand dogs. Like to get a purebred, 15 grand.
I'm glad you were only like $100.
Yeah, I wouldn't get one. My wife
Well-
wants one. No, they're fucking ugly.
Gentlemen, before we roll out of here, I just want to go ahead and I want to thank Brian. I want to thank Jeff for joining me tonight
Thanks for having me, man.
for a Deadpool 3 discussion. I'm glad you're here. I enjoy having you here, Brian.
Appreciate that.
Next week is going to be AI. We're going to discuss AI. What people think
Do you
of
need
it.
Do you need Mark to show up?
If Mark wants to show up, absolutely.
I have 9 AIs on my computer.
Fair enough. Other than that, I'm just going to run through the weekly lineup real quick. Monday nights, Men Caring for Men, hosted by Connor. But while he's out on a sabbatical, Glick's filling that role. I'm doing a little bit of co-hosting. Tuesday is Glick's House of Music. Glick doing his music thing, doing interviews, bringing me music. Oh my God, what is going on? Anyway, Nat, living out in the country, guys. Wednesday nights is What the Fuck News. This week, Glick is hosting. Jeff, you going to be there this Wednesday? I think you said you were. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be there as well. So it'll be Jeff, Glick, and I. Thursdays is Cash's Corner, wrestling with Glick and his son Cash. Fridays, well, you're here. Whose argument is it anyway? We'll have discussions on various topics. Some pop, some not, some fun, some, well, depends on your perspective. Saturday nights, Open Door Challenge on Nonsensical Nonsense. And Sunday, we close out on Sundays with Jeff's Garage with Jeff and Benji. Brian, you got any last words for us?
No, I don't have any. If you guys want to see more of me, you can find me at Talking Shit. That's
Absolutely. And that is shit spelled SHTTT. There's no I. You put an I in his shit, he won't like it.
I saw. There's a joke in there somewhere. You just
somewhere there's one. I'll have to work.
Get that.
I'll have to work at it. Jeff, you got anything?
No I and shit. No. This Sunday, like I said, Benji and I are gonna be talking cars.
What's that? I guess it's better to put the I in shit than put shit in your eye.
There you go.
Ooh, there you go.
Yep. You don't want pink eye.
But yeah, I actually got some things set up already for Wednesday. I got a couple of stories. I And then of course I'll be here Saturday. I'll be here
Cool.
tomorrow too.
All right, I will as well. Probably a little bit later in the night. Again, next week, AI. I'm going to roll that outro. And guys, y'all are off the hook the rest of the night, man. Thank you.
Run to the store.
See you guys.
This has been a Nonsensical Network production. And I just want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And have a kick-ass weekend.